Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of Stop, Look, and Listen. I'm your host, LaTroy Gardner. This week, we have one half of the mommy-daughter empire that is taking over the QC. She's the owner of Ebony Wine and Spirits.
Yes.
And plenty other, companies that we'll touch on throughout the interview. We have Miss Camillya Masunda.
Yeah. Perfect. Yes.
Welcome to the show, Camillya.
Hi, guys. Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, I'm excited to have you. Me and Camillya met at the Asante Wine and Spirit Festival in Atlanta, Georgia, back in July. And, we both have ties to Charlotte. I'm no longer there, but, that's where I went to school. So we're going to touch on that as well. First off, let's just get into your childhood. Just talk about your upbringing and some of the experiences that helped shape and mold you into the dominant mogul that you are today.
Okay, well, so I grew up here in Charlotte by way of Congo. My brothers were born there. I was born here. I grew up with a very hardworking, determined mother and father. My parents actually separated, but I grew up in both households, and I just saw a very strong and driven mother. You can't, kind of say like how, or why situations happen, but I'm very thankful of any type of adversities, that I had to go through or I saw her go through as a single parent. She was absolutely amazing. She is the woman who's guided my whole family into who we are and what we do. I grew up with all brothers. So in total, it's 7 brothers. I'm the only girl and I am the baby of the family. Let's see. I am the baby, but I'm kind of the bossy one. I remember just being like on the bus and like seeing my brothers get into like confrontations and me being the one to like stand up and say something like, you better leave my brother alone. And I'm like the younger sister. So always grew up around men. But I was always like, just tagging along with them. I was a bit of a tomboy growing up, and I've just always been driven in the sense of I'm going to have it my way. I'm going to make it happen no matter what. I would say I didn't get really into my even girly phase until like my probably late, like mid-teens. I was still like a tomboy, dressing like them, playing with them, playing sports with them. And they were always super protective. They are very protective even now. Let's see. I think my brothers definitely had a great hand in my determination and just like my strength side, because I just always saw them like even like helping my mom or working early or just being like very stand up as young men.
Okay. Yeah, so you probably couldn't have boyfriends then if you had 7 brothers around. That's crazy.
Yeah, all boys.
Okay, so let's get into what makes your story so inspiring is the fact that you was a single teen mother as well. And was it a process of learning on the fly?
Definitely. I had my daughter when I was 15. I was going into my freshman year of high school, and everything was learning on the fly. But it was also something that made me just grow. I mean, obviously you're having a baby now. And so it was a lot of, I dealt with a lot of, not gonna say self-esteem issues, but more so just feeling like people were so negative in the sense of a young Black girl having a baby so young. It was just so much, just negativity on the sense of like, hey, yeah, you did have the baby, but like, look at you as a young mom, you're going to be on the system. You're going to, you're not going to do what you're, become anything in life. It was just a lot of naysayers. And it kind of made me, though, because it made me really fight. I learned everything. I took parenting classes, Ma's class. I took anything that was, if they were giving a class for it, I wanted to be in it because I wanted to be prepared and I wanted to know, just how to be a good mom. That was my thing. Her whole life of raising her, I just wanted to know, like, what was it going to take for me to be a good mom, for me to be a good student, because I still wanted to get grades in school. I never took a break. I had her, and I went to a school called TAPS, where they had like a child care center on campus. So I would, be in class, and then I would take breaks and go breastfeed her. And this was all at 15. So just imagine like all of those type of things being on you. So it was something that really molded me, but it also she was just a gift from day one. She was just always a great baby, always a great kid, always helpful, but in the sense of just fighting through, those things of negative thoughts, and then just having the right mentorship. I was so blessed to have programs here in Charlotte that were just perfect for me. They had a program called Safe Journey, which was like a teenage mom program, and they literally like guided you the whole way. They helped you with getting childcare. They helped you with, making sure you had the necessities into raising her, making sure that even with your schoolwork, if you needed help as far as tutors or anything like that, anything that they could do to help, they did do. It was a program, Communities in Schools. I was in that. So anything that could help me, I was not ashamed of getting that type of help to ensure that me and her was just very successful.
Okay. So then that was sort of like a springboard into you attending Johnson C. Smith University.
Yes, but actually I attended Bennett College first.
Okay, so you was in Greensboro.
Yes. Okay. I was in Bennetville. I loved going to Bennett. Bennett was awesome, but my mother, who was helping me as I got into college, she always told me, if you get in, we're gonna figure it out and I'll help you. Whatever we need to do, I'll help you. And she was helping me, but she tore her meniscus. And so I would, when you're like going to school and then coming back and forth, but at one point she couldn't walk. So I had to come back home. And when I came back home, I went to Central Piedmont. I got quite a few certifications, associates, and different things like that. But then I was just like, I just yearned to be at a university. I yearned to be at a HBCU. And so I remember just going over to Johnson C. Smith one day and just applying, and then being like, no, I just walked in one day randomly. I was like, I'm just gonna apply. If they let me in, they let me in. If they don't, they don't. These people that let me in their university. And after that, it was on. Like, I was just so excited when they, just gave me, sometimes that's all you need is a chance. Yeah. If you just you feel like, if I just have this one opportunity, if somebody just give me just one chance, I'm gonna get in here, I'm gonna show them what I can do. And that's exactly what happened. Johnson C. Smith was just such a light to my life, my professors, my majors, just everybody who I got to work with, as far as interning with, as far as working with the government, working with local government. It was just awesome. So yeah, I'm a Bennettville, but I'm also a Smithite.
Okay. So at what point did you go from surviving to thriving?
Whoa. I think I went from surviving to thriving. I think that was literally, it was during college. It was while I was at Johnson C. Smith, because that's when I started one of my businesses. That's when I felt as if I could do this. Like I took a moment to step, because sometimes when we're living situations, right, we don't see how much we've overcome or what we've done or given ourselves credit for. And that's something I still struggle with to this day. But I remember being there and sitting in one of my professor's office. And this time, this professor, her child was also attending a child development center that I worked at. And this was before we opened our child development center. but she was just, always just feeding greatness into me. And just, she made me look back and say, hey, you do know that you're doing good. Like, you do know that you're a great mom, that you're doing amazing in school, and you have this load that on you that even me with a PhD, I don't think I could carry your load. And that's when I felt like, you know what, like I'm it's okay. Like, you don't have to, feel like you're scraping or trying to pull up. Like, you can feel like you can relax, but you can work at what you're doing, but it doesn't have to feel like, that you're still in that survival mode. Because definitely as a teenage mom, that's how it always felt. It always felt like anything that I was doing was like not good enough, have to do more. And so I think thriving is a state of mind. I think that's what I'm in now. I say that because thriving means to soar. And at this point in my life, I'm hitting like quite a few milestones, where I hit a few milestones that I thought was great. But then, now something amazing happened this past weekend, and that was my daughter going to college and me taking her to school. So that's top tier goals for me. That was, that was an aha moment. Like, you know what? This is it. Like, this is what it was all about. And so at the fact she goes to HBCU, she loves her major. She's calling me all the time, like, to tell me what's going on, all these amazing things. She's like, oh, Mom, I just went to my first class. It was awesome. It was computer science. This professor, he works for Google. Like, she's so excited about learning and about her adventure of school, which was a part of my dream. So that's what I would say. Excuse me. That's what I would say, like, from my thriving is like to see everything that I'm working for or working at coming full circle.
Okay. And are you a firm believer in making affirmations?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I make affirmations across the board. Like, from the moment I get up in the morning, I give gratitude. I say certain affirmations and different mantras to go to my, even at our child development center, our children have different mantras and affirmations that we teach them as well.
Okay. So you spoke about your daughter and starting at North Carolina A&T. She's majoring in computer science?
Engineering, yeah.
Computer engineering. So as I mentioned in the introduction, you two are a mommy-daughter empire.
Yes, I would say so. She's our creative director, which is everything, because that means she's like literally hand in hand with designing the face of the brand, what this whole story looks like and who we are, from the colors of us deciding the labels, the lettering, everything. So yeah, I would definitely say that. And for her to be so young and doing so, which means that she started helping out with this like very early on, from the beginning process, which to me, we're still in the beginning process, but.
Yeah. Okay, so how does she inspire you?
What? Oh man, what a great question. She inspires me all the way around the board. She just her energy and her determination. I speak well like in front of people, but when I see her speak, when I see her at different things and just her mannerisms, I'm just like, wow, look at you, girl. Who are you? Like, her Black girl magic is everything. She is a very kind-hearted person. She always wants to make sure that her peers and people around her are okay, are comfortable, because she's a very outgoing person and some of her friends are like shy. So she's like, hey, she wants to introduce them. She wants, she's just very adamant about people being comfortable around her, never leaving anyone out. And that being, what she's seen her whole life. So for me, she inspires me in the sense of like, she's super determined. She's unbreakable. And I remember when she first went to private school And because the area that we lived in wasn't a great area, and the school that she was going to need to go to wasn't going to have everything that she deserved, and wasn't going to have the opportunities that I wanted her to have. So we got her into this private school, and I was always worried. I'm like, she's always been a very bright child, but I was like, oh, I just want the work to be right for her. I just want the atmosphere to be right for her. And no matter what side of town or what circle she's in, she's just very confident. And that's inspiration to me also.
Okay. So you two co-authored a book together.
Yes. Two. Yes.
Okay. So I know if my mommy told me I could do anything.
Yes. That we love that book. That book is so special. I think she was like, yeah, we did a whole like book tour with that book. Like we were on TV with that book. It was just exciting. I just remember it like it was yesterday. It's so crazy because I just sent her, it was like 2017. 2017. I sent her a Facebook memory came up, and I sent it to her, and she posted it online. And I was just like, wow, because I remember getting pictures in from tons of moms and daughters with this book. And so it did what it was supposed to do, was just to sit down and make moms, really think about, their relationships with their daughters, like early on, and then just considering and believing in it and developing it now, because it's not easy being a mom. And so especially just putting that light on the relationship, and then just telling our story so that they could see, get a visual of just the love that we have for each other.
Okay. All right. So before we get into Ebony Wine and Spirits, just wanted to run down some of the other businesses under your empire. Camillya's Organics.
Yes.
Which is a line of CBD tea and beauty products.
Yes. So Camillya's Organics it's like our mother branch company. So everything else comes up under it. But Camillya's Organics is a company that is designed, it's a natural and organic and CBD based company. So from CBD products such as tincture, such as gummies, pet treats, slab sticks, which is like an ointment, healing ointment. To me, it's like I usually like for a healing ointment, especially having eczema. And but yeah, under it you also have our skincare, and then our natural Camillya seed oil, which is a very special, I call it a magic oil, because it's good for hair, skin, and nails. So yeah, Camillya's Organics it's the mother company. It's the CBD, but it's also the natural and organic products. It's my baby.
Okay. So Cultural Giving Tree for Early Learning.
That's my baby too.
Yeah, you got a lot of babies.
I know. Literally. So yes, me and my mother is the partner with me in that. We have a beautiful child development center that is an Afrocentric child development center. It's full of love and full of culture, and it is building up the next generation of leaders, of doctors, nurses, architects, but it's doing so at a very early age, and it's loving on them, teaching them as far as their early learning. But it's also developing them to be whole little human beings, and to be very, very strong and very just kind people who understand and celebrate who they are.
Okay. So what ages?
From 6 weeks to 12 years.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right, so Spa Diva Kids Spa.
Oh, Spa Diva Kids Spa. So me and Naya started Spa Diva Kids Spa probably back in 2015. It's gorgeous. If you would have a place that would be the ultimate like place to celebrate girls, celebrate moms and daughters. We offer manicures, pedicures, facials, mini massages. It's a princess spa. It's a spa for divas. Mini divas.
All right, so now let's get into why we're here. Got the bottle of Ebony Wine and Spirits next to you. How did you get the name Ebony Wine and Spirits, Camillya?
Ebony Wine and Spirits. So I really came up, the hardest part, like even with building any brand, like after you construct this and you have this amazing idea, right? It's like, boom, what do we call it? And for me, we went through so many names, but when I saw the Ebony, when I saw the meaning of ebony, I just knew like this was it. And when I wanted to put my own spin on it, people are not all over the world. We celebrate melanated people and we celebrate their history, their heritage, and their culture. And we celebrate it. Ebony, the word to me embodies it as one, because we know that Black culture, melanated people are all over the world, not even to be called Black, because they're Ethiopian, they're Nigerian, they're Congolese. There's so many different things. They're Cuban, they're Puerto Rican. There's so many different things, and they're melanated. You can go to these places and people look just like you and me. If you don't speak, they assume that you speak their dialect. Right. And I wanted something to bring us together. And I saw nothing. When I saw Ebony, I knew like the essence of darkness, and it was the celebration of melanin. I knew for a fact that this was the name. Okay. So you say it's culture in a bottle. Yes. And inspired by your family's Congolese roots. Yes. So my family, my dad's side, my brothers, they all speak French and Lingala. We speak French and Lingala, and it's just celebrating culture and having an attachment to a history and a heritage, right? Having an attachment to something that's outside of what you just know traditionally, or what we, as Black Americans just know, like, hey, I'm Black and I'm American. Oftentimes we long to have an attachment to something, or to know what it is, like what else, who am I, the question comes, who am I? And so with answering that question, my goal, like I said, was to bring people together, melanated people together from all over. And so for me, being Congolese is so inspiring, because their journey, you hear about their journey, or you experience their journey of coming to different places, or coming to a whole, for my father to be, for an example, my father just coming here, not speaking any English, or my brothers not speaking English, and creating a life for yourself, that is something that is absolutely amazing. But in the midst of that, still holding on to your dialect, your music, your food, your dance. And so that's what I wanted to embody. I wanted for people from all over the world, melanated people and non-melanated people, to understand, like, hey, this is something worth celebrating. When it comes to culture, this is something, when you drink this wine, I want you to understand that all over the world, melanated people are going through a lot of similar things, or going through certain struggles, but having the same celebrations as well. And Ebony Wine and Spirits, when I say it's culture in a bottle, it's because it's unifying the culture that's within the bottle. Okay, so since we're speaking of culture, a lot of times we have issues with protecting the culture. So how do you maintain that with Ebony Wine and Spirits, making sure it doesn't get watered down? Because I choose to be, I think I choose to be very unapologetically who we are. Mm-hmm. And that's what you do worry about, especially as Black wine creators. It's nothing wrong with having your wine represent whatever it is. It could be your wine could say all stars. But with that, I think for me, when I decided to say Ebony Wine, it spoke to me in a holistic way as an entrepreneur, to say, hey, who are you? Tell these people who you are, and celebrate who you are, while celebrating what speaks to you and what speaks to your heart about your message. And your message just can't be something that's meaningless. And so not being watered down is very easy to me, because I can't give you something that I'm not. I can't give it to you watered down, because that's not how I received it. That's not how I envision it. And it's not how we celebrate. It's not, our culture is not watered down. If anything, it's loud. It's a part of every corner of the world knows who melanated people are. They know our music, they know our dance. It's addictive, right? It's like a magnet. Like, I want to be a part of it. Like, I want to, hey, did you see this new dance? Like, TikTok, to be an example, when the Black TikTok creators stopped dancing or went on the strike, hey, it was no dances to be made. It was no dances to be made. And so I believe that we have something that is so amazing that we bring to the world that has no place to be watered down, but it has only a place to be given to them straight.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you currently have 4 types of spirits for sale. You have the Riesling, the Moscato, the Red Fusion, and the Sparkling Brut Rosé.
Yes. Just to piggyback on what you were just saying, our varietals. So yes, we have Red Fusion, which is our Ebony Red Fusion. We have our Ebony Moscato. We have our Kinshasa, which is an ode to where we're from, where my family's from. It's just amazing. That's all I'm gonna tell you. It's, if you had to, I don't have a favorite wine, but I love some Kinshasa, because I say Kinshasa takes you on a trip to the Congo within that bottle. And so Moscato, Red Fusion, Ebony, Riesling, Ebony, and Ebony Rosé. So yes. Okay. So all of those are our varietals. They're all amazing. I find myself now, the more my palate develops, I was just so super, super sweet wines. Like, that's all I wanted. But now, the more your palate develops, the more you drink wine, I definitely find myself leaning towards more red wines, more dry wines as well. Okay.
Now just talk about the meals that they pair well with.
Okay. So if I was doing the red blend, I would definitely have a hearty meat. I would have something like a lamb. I would probably have like a rich garlic potato, and maybe a nice green bean, something like that. If I was having the Moscato, maybe I would do a salmon and like salad, possibly some fruit as well. And then if I was having the rosé, I would definitely pair it with a nice dessert, maybe like a sorbet. That's what I would do the rosé with.
Okay. All right. So just speak on the grind as far as getting Ebony in liquor stores, bars, restaurants, and I believe that either you're in a process or have already opened your own brick and mortar location.
So yes, the grind, right? So Ebony Wine and Spirits is definitely like it's everything. So right now it's just all muscle. It's all really working hard. It's navigating the way. The wine and spirits industry is a different beast. It's a whole different. As much as I do, I feel like with Ebony Wine and Spirits, I'm in school. I'm learning. I'm conquering a lot of things at one time in the midst of learning so much. So as far as where we are, this is something major for us. So we just got distribution in all of California, in all of Florida, and in all of New York. We had our first, we spoke about our first store yesterday being in California. It's actually in Inglewood, California. We're very excited. The owners of it are 2 Black females as well. They're entrepreneurs. They have this beautiful shop called 1010 Wine and Events, and we're so excited. We'll be out there doing our Ebony Experience tour on September 3rd, Labor Day weekend. So we're doing a whole big tasting and meet and greet. And I couldn't ask for a better store. As soon as they saw us, they wanted to grab us. As much as we And we're constantly pitching stores and restaurants and clubs and lounges, but for them to see us immediately and just say, hey, no, we have to have you. And it was just very heartfelt. And then that's how it's going across the board. Like every day it's new stores that are coming in, that are hearing about the brand, that are tasting, that are seeing how we can work together. As far as the Ebony Winery Experience, which is our brick and mortar, we are well underway. We have some major things about to happen. I don't speak on it too much, but we have some private events that are about to come up. We've had it's been a trial and error as far as building, because hey, it's anytime you get into something new, it's gonna be new. You're gonna have experiences, you're gonna have some hiccups, you're gonna be figuring some things out. And I'm not ashamed to say that I am on this tremendous journey. And that's what makes our story so fascinating and so amazing, is the journey that we're on. We have an amazing team. We have our supporters are top tier. I mean, even if they have a post and it has something about Black-owned wines and they don't see Ebony Wine and Spirits, they're like, you need to put Ebony Wine and Spirits on here. And I'm just like, listen, they don't play about Ebony Wine and Spirits. So I absolutely love them. They're the reason why our name and our brand, definitely Charlotte, but definitely all over the country. If you Google Ebony Wine and Spirits, you're going to see who we are. You're going to see our story, and you're going to see us being impactful within the wine industry. We recently were nominated as the next big brand that's coming up, which is a big deal. We were nominated by the Hughes Society to be the next big, as one of the candidates to be the next big brand that you're going to be hearing about. So I believe that, yeah, that's us. Like, I think Ebony Wine and Spirits has a big and great road ahead of us all over the world, and we are excited to be on it.
Nice. So Ebony Wine and Spirits is the only Black-owned wine and spirits company in North Carolina. Do you feel that gives you an advantage, especially when it comes to working our communities and getting Ebony into those liquor stores in our neighborhoods?
I don't know if it gives us an advantage. I know, and when I say wine and spirits, so because this is our company. I do know of another wine brand, but like I said, we're not only wines. We're actually be launching a spirit in the fall. So we want to be not just seen as just one thing. And as far as advantage, I don't know about it's advantage. I think our advantage is who we are, our story, our brand, what we represent. I believe that anybody can come up with a brand, right? But if their brand doesn't have, if it's not anything that's going to be lasting and heartfelt, I think that's where you come into different, issues, or because that's the biggest thing. You want your products to be quality. You want your grapes to be quality. You want them to come from a quality vineyard that you're sourcing from. And you want to make sure that the brand is going to be represented well. And so I think that's what we do. And I think that alone sets us apart.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about the Sante Wine and Spirit Festival, in which you participated in with a host of other Black-owned wine and spirit suppliers. Just speak on that camaraderie that I witnessed, and I guess being in a room with people that share similar stories to yours, and how that made you feel.
The Sante Wine Festival, it felt like a HBCU homecoming. It felt so natural and it felt so good. And that's the difference with Black-owned wine and spirits. And that's why I urge people, if you hear about a Black wine festival, you have to go because it's a whole different type of vibe. I mean, wine festivals can be fun in themselves, but I'm telling you, when you put that culture in it, it's a whole different experience because it was so much love in that room. It was so much, hey, here, taste this, try this. And I know that's what you're supposed to be doing, but it was different because you have other women who are going through the same things as you in this industry. You have other spirits, you have other men and women who are all fighting, for the same things. We're fighting to not be the 1%. We're fighting to change the rhetoric of what we represent in wine. And we're fighting to create legacy that our children won't be the 1%. We believe that we see something that's not right. And we see something that, hey, we want to create something that is going to that we should already be a part of, and we should be bigger than we are. But we know that, hey, different circumstances happen or different stories were told, but we know for a fact that this is where we want to be and we want to change it. So in that room, what you saw was unity, what you saw was love, and what you see and what I believe that will come of the wine and spirits industry, and what we were lacking is the unity within Black-owned wine and spirits, and understanding that, hey, just because my wine is selling here doesn't mean that your wine can't be selling in the same place. I think what was missing in this industry is understanding that what's the point in you being a Black-owned wine that you're number one, but you're number one by yourself. I want to be personally, I believe that it's better to be felt as a force than as an individual. And when you have that camaraderie and you have people networking and building together, talking about distribution and seeing how you all can collectively build something that's lasting and dynamic. And I think that's exactly what you saw at the Asante Wine Festival.
Nice. Yeah, like you were saying, just the vibe in the building itself with the music, yeah, and getting samples and having the conversations. It was an amazing experience.
It was awesome. Like I can't wait to go do it again. It was amazing. And shout out to her for putting the creator for putting everything together. It was worth everything to come. I just hope people watching this next year put that on their calendar. The Asante Wine Festival is an absolutely yearly event that is out of this world.
So she mentioned, because I interviewed her before the festival, that she's looking to have one in Charlotte.
Yeah, she told me.
Yeah. And I think Houston or Baltimore, I can't remember exactly the other city, but Charlotte was definitely on her list. So,
well, I know, listen, Charlotte is going to be a whole different, Charlotte's going to be a whole different, not a whole different vibe, but it's just going to be enhanced, because if it was already that busy and that fun last year, well, this year, I already know Charlotte, having it here is going to be just 2 times, 3 times that, because now people know, they see the videos, they see the footage, they wouldn't miss it.
Right. Yeah. And since we no longer have CIAA, we need another reason to turn up.
Yeah. We need to listen. I can't even, that's so hard to fathom, right? That we don't have CIAA. I've been going to CIAA like my whole life. So.
From the beginning. What was it, like 2007?
Yes. So it's so unnatural to not have CIAA.
Yeah. So we're going to have to, I guess, make that trip to Baltimore.
No, thanks.
Okay. All right. So Camille, you just, tell us what's next. Will there be other flavors or different types of spirits introduced?
You definitely can look out for varietals, but you can definitely begin to look out, get the word out that we have our first spirit coming out. And so we're super excited about that. But what's next? Just expansion, going from city to city, state to state, seeing us in a lot more stores, just enjoying the journey, right? This is next month, will be officially at the end of the month will be our first year, will be our first, that's the first time I sold 1 bottle, right? And just to say, like, look how much, we've done thus far is everything. Like, we created a full company. Like, this is out of this world. We've been in all types of publications. Like, we have no signs of slowing down. If anything, we're just going to take our brand, like I said, take it bigger. We're ready. We want to go abroad. We want to be in quite a few different countries. We're ready to touch, the continent. We're ready to touch Africa. We can't wait to put this wine on the soil. And we can't wait to just continue to tell our story, to continue to motivate people all over the world through adversities, that everything is worth fighting for. Anything that you can imagine and you can dream, you can achieve. And it might be, I don't want people to just think like, hey, a lot of people see glitz and glamour. They don't see the work behind it. But if you can believe, if you can dream it, if you can see it, you can do it. And that's not that we do things just overnight. But if you can be steadfast in what you want, you can have it. And I'm living proof, and we're only going to keep getting, bigger and keep growing, because I write down more goals every day. I write down more dreams every day. And just like that, you're here with me saying, hey, I'm interviewing you. And I'm just like, who am I to be interviewing? And look, it's happening. So, every day I'm just so thankful for, all the podcasts. I'm thankful for, any type of publication that sees our story and understands that, no, I don't think we're like other wine brands, no matter, what type of wine brand it is. I think we have something that is set apart and that is truly amazing. And we just want to keep making the people proud. And we just want to keep telling our story to inspire people.
Nice. So feel free to plug your website, social media handles, the whole nine, where we can find Ebony Wine and Spirits.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Camillya Masunda, and I'm the founder and CEO of Ebony Wine and Spirits. Please follow us at Ebony Wine and Spirits on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Please, and TikTok. And please get your Ebony wine, right? Get you some Ebony Wine and Spirits at www.ebonywineandspirits.com. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Camillya. All right. So for Stop, Look, and Listen, I'm your host, LaTroy Gardner. See you next week. Peace and blessings.
Thank you for checking us out on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe for more great content. And don't forget to check out our website at GOB Radio Network.com.